Today, we're going to be diving into the Google Ads account of a $20 to $25 million Shopify store. They came to us in February of last year, and since working with us, we've generated them $5 million via Google Ads, and just last month, we generated them $700,000. We've helped them get a 38% increase in revenue, 23.4% increase in ROAS, and 11.8% increase in spend, which is huge for a brand of this size in this niche. We were able to help them profitably scale their ad spend without damaging their ROAS. My name is Jackson Blackledge, here with one of my business partners and head of Google Ads, Filippo Caroli. And we've helped brands like Tabs, Wine by Lamborghini, Ovi, Crafted, Icon Amsterdam with Google and YouTube ads. And at the moment, we're teaching these strategies to Debbie Fogarty's community of 7+ figure e-commerce businesses, Daily Mentor. In this video, what we're going to do is take you through what we found in their ad account before they came to us when they were spending very little in their ad account, the mistakes we found, and what we did within the account that allowed us to scale them via Google Ads. First, let's take a look at their shopping ads. The product titles are one of the single most important factors for shopping campaign performance. Google actually doesn't use keywords for shopping campaigns. It relies on your product titles and attributes to match your products with relevant search queries. When you have an unoptimized title, it means you're missing out on potential customers at the end of the day. So when we dove into this account, these titles were just pulled from the website and they had sizes added, which no one really searches for. Some of the titles look like this in front of you: hoodie sized M. The most important information is missing: gender, material, brand, all of which Google uses to decide which search terms you show up for. The thing is, with shopping, you have 150 characters for titles, so you can strategically use that room to fit details that would help you match with the search queries your customers are actually looking for. You want to front load your most important attributes first in the first 70 characters, and this means starting your product titles with the most relevant keywords that potential customers are searching for. For example, instead of hoodie size M, you could simply use men's hoodie or women's athletic hoodie. What keywords you use will actually depend on your keyword research. Next, you ideally want to include attributes your audience cares about. So let's say your target market who are environmentally conscious. You can add words like eco-friendly, fair trade, organic, that, or any unique selling points that make your product stand out. These attributes not only help your product appear in relevant searches, but also appeal to the values and interests of your target audience. These act as instant differentiators for your product on your shopping tab. Next, you can get into product specifications. Including your brand name can be important too, especially for brand protection. If customers are searching for your brand, having it in the title ensures you show up properly in these searches. But for prospecting new customers who may not be familiar with your brand name might be less critical and can simply be placed later in the title or even removed altogether just to focus on other attributes. Depending on your goals, you can even create different product feeds and campaign structures to just optimize for specific objectives. We'll show you some optimized examples.
Here, in just one search, let's look at the shopping carousel. Here, I just search for elegant pants in the US. I just scroll to the, let's say, second page. Here's an example of a bad title. It's something that we see very commonly. People that we help, do consult, or that we audit have the brand first, searching for generic search, non-branded, name of the model, the sector that no one is searching for. And in the end, I have just, let's say, one keyword, which is khaki, right? The title is very short. As you can see, it's not even taking the whole 150 characters. But despite that, we can see that probably this brand is having some success with other channels, I guess. 800 reviews, pretty impressive. So that's a bad example. Let's look at the first page. The very first one, good example here. I just searched for elegant pants, but we have men's, relaxed fit, textured, pleated, tailored trousers. So there are a lot of keywords there and attributes. They don't even have reviews within the website. They don't have special promos. The only cool thing that Google could show is basically shipping, which is not even free. It's not even that fast. But despite that, they have an amazing title, which allows them to rank pretty well. And in particular, of course, they were ranking right now just for a generic term like elegant pants. But imagine how well this product is going to rank when people are really searching for those attributes directly on Google.
Next, we went into their Performance Max campaigns. Performance Max is insanely powerful. This single campaign made up the majority of their Google Ads sales during the time. When we spoke to them, they were pretty happy, good ROAS, good performance overall. But when we actually dug deep into the campaign's performance, we found over 80% of their revenue was coming from branded search terms. While branding campaigns can help secure your spot against competitors and overall market to your existing customer base. You aren't getting as many new customers. Branded users can sometimes be new customers, but they're already searching for your brand at the end of the day. They weren't brought to you by Google Ads. They got referred from someone else and came searching for your name. In other words, these are simply users who already are going to buy either now or in the future. And when you don't separate out this traffic from your campaigns, obviously branded versus non-branded, it causes problems. It skews your data, allows Google to overspend on your traffic, and it just overall inflates your ROAS. You want to be using Google to bring in not only obviously existing customers, of course, but you need to leverage it to bring in new traffic, new customers, people who haven't heard of you before. But more importantly, you want to make sure you're not overspending on branded traffic at the end of the day. That's why whenever we run Google Ads for our partners, clients, this is what our account structure actually looks like. Prospecting, shopping, PMAX, prospecting, search, branded shopping. Let's take a look at the data.
Here we are inside the account. We are actually talking about just the last 30 days. We spent over 80K ROAS above 10, and we are scaling, of course, for Q4. The important thing for this point is to show you how every single campaign is marked as prospecting or branded within the account. That's fundamental for us. At the moment, we have a lot of campaigns active, so the point here is not going through each campaign, but that's a key element at the beginning. We're collaborating with this brand for over 6 months, but this structuring of the account was the foundation upon which we built all the scaling that followed after. The important thing to keep in mind for your own campaigns that you can check easily for PMAX campaign if it's branded or non-branded. Let's go and check which campaign was spending here. Let's say before. Enter the campaign, go to Insight and Reports, Insights. The tricky thing is that Google by default is going to show you only the last 7 days data or the last 28 days. You see here, search term Insights. 7 days, 28 days. Obviously, there's no data because the campaign was paused by us, but you have this beautiful custom button just for this specific report, not for the others. And data are available since March 2023. There's more than 1 year of data there. So we could go and check, for example, random periods before they came to us. Obviously, the search terms will be blurred. Basically, this first line with clicks, you see 48,000 clicks, and then you see the second search term category is 1K only. First line was branded. So that was all branded traffic from search, from shopping within this PMAX campaign. Really, really important to identify that when you start to set up correctly an account. Make sure you separate brand and non-brand so you have a stable and solid base upon which you can scale performances on Google Ads. Let's take a look at the ratio a little bit between prospecting and branded for this account. Obviously, this brand is super heavy on Meta ads, TikTok. They have a huge following on social media, influencers. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of branded searches that we want to capture and protect. On the other side, we saw how we structure the account in a way that is very simple to segment campaigns, brand versus non-brand. Here, apply the filter that are not containing brand in the name. And we can see scrolling down, we have 18 campaigns in this case, 62,000 spent versus 83,000 total. So we have around 75% plus just spent on non-brand in this account. That's the key element. You don't want just to convert on branded traffic that's going to give you an easy ROAS, not a great contribution to the brand growth. We want to really spend the vast majority of the budget on non-branded. So here you can see a bunch of prospecting campaigns, mainly PMAX and a bit of search across different countries. On the other side, you're going to have the branded search and standard shopping campaigns. Maybe we can quickly see that from the icon. We have search and shopping, of course, covering the name of the brand, but all the brand protection is done separately. That's key also. You saw how quickly it was to identify how much money we're spending on prospecting, so customer acquisition, which is something that is very, very obscure in most of the accounts we audit.
Let's move on to point number 3. Multiple CSS for shopping. In 2017, European Commission fined Google $2.42 billion for abusing its market dominance. Google was basically monopolizing top search results by promoting its own shopping comparison service, effectively pushing out other comparison shopping services, CSS. They were essentially taking up all the prime real estate at the top of the search results, leaving little room for competitors. To rectify this, the EU ordered Google to split its operations into 2 separate entities. Google Search, the main search search engine, and Google Shopping, a comparison shopping service. This means that in Europe, Google Shopping is technically a separate company from Google Search. To ensure fairness, Google Shopping is required by law to keep 20% of the click value as profit, making sure it's treated like any other independent company. Here's where it gets interesting for e-commerce brands. So other CSS don't have this obligation. Most of them operate on a freemium or subscription model and don't keep profits from your bids. So when you run your ads through other CSS services like Product Hero, you can get a 20% discount, making it cheaper to run your ads through them than through Google Shopping directly. So since they don't have to keep 20% of your bid as profit, everything you bid goes into the auction rather than being kept by Google. By duplicating your product feed and your entire Google Shopping campaigns across multiple CSSs, you can participate in the same auction with multiple listings. Basically, within one Google Ads account, you can have multiple shopping campaigns displaying different ads for the same search terms. And the best part, your campaigns don't compete with each other, which usually ends up artificially inflating your prices. So for example, let's say you have listings A, B, and your competitor has listings C. A competes with C, B competes with C, A and B do not compete with each other. And this strategy increases your chances of winning the auction without driving up your costs. Bit of history for you guys, but definitely something to leverage if you're in the EU.
So guys, let's see within this case study how this contributed to impact on the shopping side of things. So having several campaigns using different CSSs, we applied new CSSs starting more or less here. We started in Feb, so then we have, let's say, an adjustment period, fixing period. We launched these new campaigns around this side, April, May, and you can see how these are just clicks from shopping or performance max campaigns. As you know, we subdivided them brand on brand. You can see how the amount of clicks just skyrocketed, and it's not even a particular season, right? In July, August, it got the peak in August, which is not the best seasonality in general. So absolutely, that gave us boost. You can see that for each campaign, we have the information if we are using different CSS versus Google, because every time, let's say you have one campaign with Google, you just create a new CSS, a new merchant center, you create an additional campaign. Every campaign has only one CSS. So basically your campaigns, if you have one PMAX campaign, you add a CSS, a new merchant center, you have two campaigns. So this really helps you with scaling. And the best thing obviously is that you don't compete with each other. So it's like, oh, I have two campaigns, two merchant centers. Do I compete, with myself? Here's an official page from Google, a bit advanced, a bit hidden. Google doesn't like people to know it because Google has to do it because of these court orders, let's say, to simplify. Here you can clearly see how a merchant will never be second prize, how many CSS you have. If two CSSs place bids on behalf of the same merchants, the winning offer will be the same exactly. And here you have an example. So if a merchant will be in position 1 and position 2 with two different CSSs, he pays 20 cents based on the third one. So you never compete with yourself, but that's a great upside, but that helps you to scale without problems with different CSSs in the European economic area.
Now let's go to a higher level and look at the Google Merchant Center. Like we mentioned, they removed some details in their titles for their shopping ads, but the problem ran deeper than that. They were actually also missing product fields in their product feed. Color, gender, age group, size, things like this. And these were missing on all their products. This absolutely tanks performance by not giving Google the data it needs. But essentially, the more data you give to Google, the better it optimizes. We've made an entire optimization spreadsheet for you guys to use and how to use it. Okay, the spreadsheet's in front of you. It's also going to add it to the description below. So definitely check out our sheet to get the exact priority list we use to manage product fields. Moving on with the Merchant Center, another mistake they were making was not taking advantage of one of the most critical features in their MCC, and that's custom labels. This account only had one, but there's so much opportunity. Custom labels allow you to categorize products beyond those standard fields we talked about just now. You can segment products by profit margin, sellers, seasonal items, or collections, and this helps in strategic bidding and budget allocation. Google does not have these by default, but they make optimization so much more precise.
First thing, just a quick snapshot of how you can easily optimize and add additional attributes using professional tools like Data Feedwatch. Here you can see how easy it was for us to just add age group, gender, color for those products, creating additional rules. We have other stuff like size as well. Everything very easy to manage if you know how to use advanced tools. Here we got a mess, honestly, from the previous agency. Obviously, what we want to focus on as well is custom labels. So I just wanted to give you a quick example of custom labels within the account. Here you can see how that's very, very nice. Honestly, something that is available for a few months on Google Ads, kind of a silent update. When you go to products, even if you are at the account level, you can still analyze, obviously, your product one by one, the default screen, but you can analyze already divided in categories, right? One of them is for custom labels. For custom labels, of course, you can add anything that is relevant to your products, divide them by margins, price range, bestsellers, seasonality, anything that makes sense for you. Products currently on promotion versus product not currently on promotion. It's completely customizable. So let's see here an example of how cool they could be. First of all, it's really interesting to create them. Obviously, you can segment your campaigns based on them, but first thing is even very interesting just to analyze the data. So like, check out this example. So we have custom label number 4. We have 5 of them, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can apply a lot of labels. Here, this custom label 4 is dedicated to sellers, high ROAS products versus others. No, we have bestsellers. Actually, we have one top seller, products with high ROAS, and products with no values assigned. So let's say normal products from that sense. You can see how many products are part of the categories, and then we can see data for those categories. Again, I don't need to have separated campaigns for that. It could even be all running in one campaign. This is not the case, but let's imagine. Still, you can see the data segmented. So that's really nice, just to get proof of concept. So then we could check, for example, here, okay, let's see how the clicks are distributed. All right, so most of the clicks goes to normal products. Let's say they are the vast majority, but let's look at performances. Are they actually better? Are they similar? So for example, here, the real bestseller, it's really having a ROAS that is like almost a double. So obviously justifies pushing it completely separately, etc., etc. The distinction that, for example, the client gave in this case between high ROAS products and other normal products didn't really show differences. So this could allow us to then plan a segmentation. So data first, and then data-driven decisions second. That's the key.
Before we move on to the other parts of their ad account, we want to cover 2 more merchant center mistakes. 1, no refund policy, and 2, there were no promotions. For a brand of this size, having no promotions on Google, rookie error from whoever was managing the ad account prior to us. The refund policy was never submitted in the merchant center. This is huge because it can even show up in your shopping ads and gives you an edge over competitors who haven't set this up yet. It just builds trust at the end of the day. Whenever a brand forgets to do this simple step, they're basically leaving room for lower click-through rates and ultimately lost sales. Clepo is going to show you where this is and how you can submit it.
So in this case, even a big brand like this one had return policies missing from Google Merchant Center. That's pretty tricky in a way because they're not technically mandatory. So sometimes when the account is managed a bit superficially, let's say, they can slip through the cracks. So let's see how to check it out. The new Merchant Center next, Google made it even more visible. Google is really pushing on this, very important. So here you can click on store quality, and you will see all the different parameters that are affecting the user experience, such as shipping, returns, etc., etc. In this particular case study, we had returns completely missing, so we just set them up. Here you could see also how you perform in terms of returns versus the competition. So for example, here we have an exceptional return cost, 0, free returns, and the window is 30 days, which is fair. So maybe there are competitors that are offering even longer return windows. In general, you can then just go even through shipping and returns here. If in case they're missing, you can come here, set them up. So for example, here I'm going to add some returns policies there just to show you how complex it could be. That's for a lot of details, but on the other way, it's very straightforward. The very important thing to keep in mind for returns is that you're going to be requested to add your return policy URL, and Google is pretty sensitive about it. Google after that is going to ask you a lot of questions like, is there a restocking fee? What is the return window? Who is printing the label? Who's paying for the shipping back? And Google wants to see the answers matching that policy URL. In many cases, you submit the policy, you are truthful with your submission, so you think it's going to be approved, but many times it just gets disapproved because Google didn't find the information matching perfectly within your policy URL. In that case, you would just need to go to your policy URL and make it even clearer for Google about your return details, and then you submit again and you would be approved. So once the policy is submitted, in this case, you could see it's verified, everything went well, but in case it's disapproved, you could just go here and it will tell you exactly which information was disapproved. So it will tell you, I didn't find the information about the 30 days, or I didn't find the information about who pays for that, restocking fee, whatever it is. So you just make sure that the policy URL contains all the right details.
I want you to picture something. You're running shopping ads for your e-commerce store. The campaigns are live. Products are approved and your ads getting impressions, but the sales just aren't rolling in like you hoped. Right? A common reason we see for this happening is that your ads are blending in, getting lost in a sea of similar products and prices. Because you got to think about it. When a potential customer searches for a product on Google, they're presented with a sea of similar shopping ads. If your ad doesn't stand out with a compelling offer, they'll probably click on your competitor's ad instead. Or maybe you are running a promo, but if the ad doesn't display it, it means nothing on the shopping ad tab, and those missed sales add up quickly. Let's say your average order value is $50 and you're missing out on just 10 sales per day due to lackluster promos. That's $500 in lost revenue every single day. Over a month, that's $15,000 down the drain. This is why using Google Merchant Center promotions is so vital. Okay, now Filippo is going to dive into something that brands commonly do not use, but it gives the overall ad account such a big advantage.
Crucial part of these case studies of these amazing results we achieved for this brand has to do with Merchant Center promotion. We talk a lot about it. We play a lot with them. It's a crucial element in your continuous testing and improvement of an account. Here's what Google Merchant Center promotion can look like within shopping ads. This product costs $80, but I know that if I have this code, it could be 30% off checkout. These are the case. I get a 20% off if I spend at least $200 across the website. Here's the coupon. Could be with a coupon or not. Merchant Center promotion, as you can see, can already say to users, even before they click on the ad, hey, look, this is the price of the product, but we have that promotion. It could make things better at checkout for you. So, of course, can be more enticing, increases CTR, increases conversion rates. To summarize, Merchant Center promotions have 4 macro categories. Either you can grant a percentage discount, a specific amount discount, let's say $50. You can give different type of free gifts. So you can give product that you have already in your inventory, maybe a small accessory that you have on your website. You can gift literally anything that is outside as well, even ebooks. You can literally add an ebook at checkout and show up as free gift in shopping ads, or you can even give away gift cards. So you could say, hey, here's, you buy this product, you have a $50 gift card for the next purchase. So also to increase LTV over time. Fourth option is free shipping. So let's say your normal shipping rule allows user to have free shipping over $100. You can have specific Merchant Center promotion that will allow users to get free shipping even below that threshold, maybe for some specific products. All of this promotion can be applied also to specific products, don't have to be applied to all products. You can, of course, set them up here within Merchant Center. There is a whole section, promotion. We went through that in other videos as well. One thing that I wanted to show you, that you have a specific reporting within Merchant Center about how promotions were actually shown by Google. You're not sure that these promotions are going to be shown. Google decides what to show in the ad, but here you get the reporting. How many clicks you got for including that promotion. So you go to products here under analytics, and then there is the very last top is promotions. Here, for example, I have last 90 days, and you can see the spikes and the behavior of these promotions. So how many clicks we got that day for including promotion, and then we can compare it to the total amount of clicks coming from shopping ads. Obviously, we can correlate these dynamics with the overall performances. When we have promotions or sales going on in our shopping ads, obviously the performances tend to go up because shopping ads, in the end of the day, is a heavy price-focused, offer-focused channels. Undoubtedly, it has a strong impact on your performances.
Now, I want to go into one of the lowest hanging fruits of Google Ads, and that's customer match. Customer match is basically a feature of Google that allows you to upload your customer list, offline sales, current customers, past customers. And if you feed Google this information, you can actually use it as an extra layer of targeting to help you reach your customers faster. Whether that's to tell Google to find similar audiences or to tell Google to exclude certain individuals from your campaign. And for this brand, they hadn't updated their customer list in over a year. They have over 100,000 customers. They did not leverage any of their emails. So not only were they playing Google Ads on hard mode, they weren't capitalizing on the customer list they had been building up as they scaled to over 7 figures in revenue. Filippo is going to do a quick breakdown on how this works.
So here we see in tools, audience manager, I applied a filter for segment type customer list. So again, these are email lists. You can include other information such as phone number, name, zip code, but it can be just emails. That's the most common. Customer list, you can see list here. We have different countries. And also what we like to do is segment a little bit the type of emails that we have. For example, we have all customers versus non-purchase. So for example, it's nice to have all the emails from people that maybe reached checkout or they subscribed to newsletters, but they never ended up buying. We got this list and why they're so important. So the first thing to show you is how they affect the overall account performances just by being there. So we have here in the account settings, customer match, and by default is on. Smart bidding and optimized targeting. Use all customer match list in smart bidding and optimized targeting. So the system is going to leverage those information like, okay, this is the avatar of your clients. Know now what is the profile of your actual clients. So I'm going to keep it in mind when it comes to targeting bidding across different types of campaigns. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that you can actually define which of these lists are actually your customers, because again, you could have lists of people that never bought. Eventually, you could even have lists of clients that you bought from a third party, right? You can define here under customer acquisition within goals who are actually the customers. And of course, customer lists are obviously possible to use in terms of targeting. So if you want to do a campaign targeted to existing customers, maybe to communicate a special promotion, you can do that. But also with demand generation, right now we have the possibility to create lookalikes audiences and target those based on a multiple seed list, such as your purchasers, so based on your email. So customer list, especially the recent buyers, can be a great seed list to create lookalike audiences for demand generation campaigns that are becoming bigger and bigger within Google Ads. And 2025, they're gonna even completely take over from YouTube specific campaigns for conversion. So for e-commerce, it's gonna be a big deal.
I know that was obviously a lot. So to recap, optimize your shopping feed, especially titles, fill in product fields and add custom labels, fix your GMC and test some promos, have a solid brand versus non-brand structure, expand to other country comparison services, CSS, and dial in your customer list. Even at 20 mil, this brand still had tons of room to scale just by fixing these mistakes. There's so much hope for these brands in that 1 mil to 5 mil per year range, right? If you're doing over $1 million a year and you want us to scale you with Google Ads, just go ahead and book an account below. Ad account audit is completely free. If you wish to take the audit and manage it in-house, no stress, you can do that. Or if you want us to manage it, we can do so as well. I hope this video helped. Myself, Jackson Blackledge, and Filippo Cali. We'll see you in the next one.